afternoon, fellow theme park and travel enthusiasts, and welcome back to the Root of All Theme Parks podcast. My name is always Matthew Schroeder, a.k.a. the Irish Mad Hatter, and joining me today is Disney and Universal travel agent Greg Schroeder with PS Family Vacations. How are you, Greg?
Hey, doing great, Matt. How are you this week?
Doing great. Before we get started, because I know we have this wonderful script that we have written, that you have written, and I love every week that you write this stuff because, and I'm going to tell you everyone, he is amazing at writing this stuff. It is so informative. It gets us through what we need to get you guys to be more informed on what's going on with the theme parks. We just had IAAPA Honor Awards for 2024 in Vegas. And we have the most creative spectacular spectacle, as they say. The winner is Believe at Sea of Dreams at Disney's Tokyo Mediterranean Harbor. That is their nighttime, basically what? It's like a mix of Fantasmic with stuff that like River of Light, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's kind of a mix of a more modern day version of the electrical water pageant, but with a lot more, lights and colors and a great soundtrack, and maybe the flotillas from the Fantasmic show, where all the characters float around. But yeah, it's their nighttime show inside the lagoon at Tokyo Disney Sea. I can't wait to go. This has given me another reason.
So Tokyo Disney takes an award, and for me, as a Universal team member, this one was great because I saw this show, Horror Nights. I believe I saw it a total of 9 times, and I only went, I think 6 times. So I saw a bunch of doubles, because that was that good. The Nightmare Fuel Wildfire at Universal Studios won for most creative Halloween production. And I will tell you this, it was phenomenal, and it was well-deserved for the Halloween. And I think it beat out Disney, I thought it truly did. And I'm not sure what SeaWorld and Busch Gardens does, but I would agree that it just blew it out of the water. I don't know, did you go and see it at all, or did you go to Halloween Horror Nights and see it?
I didn't this past year. I did not get the opportunity to, but Universal obviously has the market cornered there on Halloween attractions, so not surprised here. Just letting them shine.
Right. And here's the funny part, because we were told that they were going to disband this show because it was originally made 2 years ago, and then there was rumor that it wasn't coming back. They revamped it, assuming that this was going to be the last year. But now since they won an award, I could see them not disbanding it at all. And I hope they don't, because this proves to me that Universal had it right. They know what they're doing when it comes to Halloween. Mm-hmm. And I think in the spectacle of Halloween, it truly gives the guests an amazing show, and these people work their butts off every day, and I saw it in that show, and they truly were dedicated, and I commend them for everything.
Mm-hmm. No, there's a reason Halloween Horror Nights is definitely the benchmark that every other amusement park in the country, benchmarks their Halloween weekends, or, they theme their own, but they definitely look to Halloween Horror Nights for how to do it right.
Yeah, and I'm excited because we're almost halfway to Halloween for both Disney and Universal. And I believe it's at the end of this month, it should be the end of this month. I think March is usually halfway to Halloween, the end of it at least. So we'll be getting some good Halloween stuff being announced very, very soon. But we got to get on with the show today. And today we'll be diving into more details about our first Portal Land. No, our second one. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Well, it's our first Portal Land.
Yes, true. It is the first Portal.
Park is, the hub area of Epic Universe. But yeah, we're going on to our first Portal Land today.
So we're going to do Dark Universe, continuing with this week, 2 of our Epic Universe contests. The first person who can respond, guys, remember, If you can get all 5 lands correctly in order, you are going to win a $50 Universal gift card. So keep listening to the show, and then on I'm going to say, what are we on? Week 2. So in 4 more weeks, we'll have the contest, and we'll see if anybody had won. I'm going to be posting on TikTok about that, just so that we can get some more help on getting that contest out. We're also going to be talking and focusing on Dark Universe, the land featuring the Universal Classic Monsters, which we haven't truly had at Universal. They have it over at Hollywood, but they really never truly had it here. We're also going to bring up Disney's response to Epic Universe continued by Bob Iger's comments this week during the Morgan Stanley conference call on Tuesday. And attraction and food details have been released for the new Fantasy Spring expansion for Tokyo Disney Seas. The Mardi Gras Festival is not ending, but the concert series is ending next Sunday, the 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And we are going to dive into the Epic Flower and Garden started this week on February 28th. So it started, 2 weeks ago? About a week ago?
A week and a half ago.
Week and a half ago. So, and then we have more details on 1900 Park Fair info released for full breakfast and dinner menu. We have a reservation that we actually have. It's on April 11th, so we're going to get your review for that. And then finally, Greg is going to give you our money-saving vacation promos. So let's get started. Before we get started, I want to share the Root of All Theme Parks is proudly sponsored to you by PS Family Vacations, the dreamers of your next magical getaway. If you'd like to support our content and either not sure where to start your own vacation planning or just don't have the time, please consider benefiting from the experience and enthusiasm of any of the incredible PS Family Vacations travel agents. We know you can book your vacation yourself. However, with the support of an experienced agent, we guarantee you'll be more prepared, knowledgeable, and satisfied with your overall trip. Always completely free. So start your theme park cruise, all-inclusive resort, or European adventure today at psfamilyvacations.com. All right, so let's dive into Epic Universe. What is Dark Universe? Well, the world's first classic monster-themed land. Being pretty close to Villain's Land, this is actually something many Disney fans have been wanting for years over at Disney, but Universal is giving basically the fans what they wanted because they do love the classic monsters of Universal, and like I said, it's over at Hollywood, but they never truly had it over at Universal Orlando. And we're going to get expected experiences from the world of Dracula, Frankenstein's monster,
It's alive!
the Mummy, the Wolfman, and many more, which we'll get into in a bit. Let's dive into the area's description, shall we? First, the themed beacon over the land's entry portal will be an electrical tower similar to what was being used during the Frankenstein monster. You can see that in Young Frankenstein, actually. And I believe that is a Universal movie as well. I believe that's owned by Universal. Mm-hmm. So, an old classic Gene Wilder film. You'll enter the shadowy landscape where real monsters roam, known as the Village of Darkmoor. Total 7 acres with a dedicated 4-acre expansion pad. Area music to be composed by Danny Elfman. Oh, really? I
I was excited about that when I heard
I'm
that,
excited for that one. If you don't know who Danny Elfman is, he composed the movie scores for Beetlejuice, Eddie Scissorhands, Batman, the 1989 Michael Keaton version.
Yeah, I think one of the better versions, definitely a Batman, but that's another discussion.
Yeah, I know. I truly like that. What attractions are we going to have in this wonderful land? Well, it's been speculated about a lot of things that we will see in this land. We didn't truly know what would be the rides, and then it started coming out more and more about what was it. So the main dark ride sets with a large Gothic manor. It's rumored to be Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein experience, trademarked but not confirmed. Also rumored to feature all the Universal Classic monsters, which has been unleashed by some sort of experiment by Dr. Frankenstein. Now, I have heard that we were thinking it's going to be a indoor roller coaster, sort of like the system of the Mummy, but it's going to be based around the Wolfman, which that has been the rumor I've been hearing even as a worker. It's not been confirmed, but after seeing some pictures, I'm starting to maybe believe it. So
I think you're referring to, we'll get to in a second, attraction 2. There is a roller coaster out in the center of the land called the Curse of the Werewolf, which is probably what you're referring to. We're talking right now the major dark ride, which is inside the manor. As you walk into the Dark Universe, you'll see the Transylvania Manor off in the distance, and inside there is the main dark ride.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, that one I did not hear about, so you got a little bit more information on that than I did.
A lot of research, looking up trademarks, looking up patents. I enjoy all this stuff.
So it's going to use a similar track system like Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey attraction. Oh boy, hopefully it doesn't go upside down. That's the one thing I hate about that ride.
Yeah, it's got mixed reviews on that ride system, but I don't know. I'm excited to see what they can do with it. A lot of people complain about how it gives them motion sickness, things like that. But one thing that they're saying that they're not going to be doing in this version of a KUKA Arm attraction is, all those concave screens that your seat kind of gets pushed into, and it looks like you're flying around, and it can get kind of nauseating. This attraction here within the Dark Universe is not going to be using any of those concave projections. It's going to be a lot more physical sets, and they've even talked about using some really large LED screens, kind of like they got over at VillainCon right now. So they're shaking this one up and trying to one-up it from hopefully taking some of the concerns people have with Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey and, making it more comfortable and more impressive.
Well, like I said, my only concern about Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey is when you go upside down, and it's supposed to be quick, but when the ride breaks down and I've had that fear. I had it.
I've never had that, but I can imagine.
I had it 7 months ago. I remember it because everyone's like, oh, do you want to go on the ride? I'm like, I am not going back on that ride ever again because I got stuck upside down, and we were stuck for about 5 to 7 minutes. So I'm trying to keep my head up from having the blood rush to my skull.
Yeah, and passing out or something.
Yeah, it's not the prettiest thing in the world. So hopefully no upside down stuff.
To eliminate that possibility, that would be smart.
Right. That's it. Other than that, if it rides smoothly, I can deal with it. It's just if it starts to break down like rides do, it's a hazard.
Yeah.
Let's see. Attraction 2 is Curse of the Werewolf. Look at that there, as you were saying. It's a launched spinning family-friendly roller coaster manufactured by Mack Rides. Oh, they're really good. I know that they're very good with their track design and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did Slinky Dog Dash too. If you want to think of another kind of a family-friendly roller coaster, they did that too.
So it's like Flight of the Hippogriff or Hagrid's Motorbike. Oh,
As far as the thrill level, yeah. If it's
Okay, so the thrill level
yeah.
that would be cool. I would love it if it was like Hagrid's. Unfortunately, then you would never get on the ride because it's nearly impossible to get on Hagrid's now.
Yeah, that's why I said it's somewhere in between Flight of the Hippogriff and Hagrid's as far as thrill. I would imagine it's probably even closer to Slinky Dog Dash from looking at the concept art and the track that's already been laid out. But think of that thrill level as of Slinky Dog Dash for this coaster.
And we have some dining, I see. We have a 64-seat restaurant, trademarked and believed to be called Burning Blade Tavern. Sounds interesting. Let's see. It is at night. We know it will have flame effects to catch on fire. Ooh. And it's going to have a 1931 Frankenstein movie feel where he climbs on the top and the villagers actually set the windmill on fire.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen the Frankenstein movie, but that's how the movie ends, was all the villagers chasing Frankenstein up to the top of the windmill and they set it on fire. And unfortunately, sad, that's how he dies.
I did not, but I did see Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
Okay.
So I believe it ends the same way.
So yeah, that's what this restaurant's going to be themed after, is that windmill being caught on fire.
This one I'll be excited for. The 362-seat restaurant, speculated as a steakhouse named Das Steakhouse. And you have to say it like you're a German. Das gut.
But again, this is another very strong rumor. This one isn't even trademarked yet, but a lot of people are suspecting that that's what this is going to be called. Again, a lot of the things you hear on this podcast, don't take them as fact, but it's still interesting to take a look and listen to, sources that are on what people are saying and open up for discussions. Some of these things are trademarked, but they haven't confirmed. But yeah, definitely looking forward to a steakhouse. I think that's a type of restaurant in Epic Universe that we haven't heard about yet that I think would be a great addition. And
we got some shopping. You want to bring that one up?
Sure. The main retail restaurant for the land is trademarked already as Pretoria's Scientific Oddities. And this is actually named after Dr. Septimus Pretorius. He was the main antagonist from the 1935 version of the Frankenstein movie. So, and then the main attraction, Exit Gift Shop, is also trademarked to be called the Manor Storehouse. So just some interesting names that we've been able to find online.
See, here's my thing, and it goes into our discussion point, which is, what do we think of the nighttime will be like at Dark Universe? See, for me, I think it's going to be really cool. I think it's going to be spooky. But there's one thing I want, because I think it is owned by Universal as well, and I can look that up right now. Van Helsing. I don't know why. I just want him to be roaming around.
I'm not sure.
It is owned by Universal.
Got it. Okay. That is
so
the Dark Universe. Okay.
It used to be at Hollywood Universal, but it closed in 2006. So they do own the rights. So I would be very interested to see Van Helsing walking around trying to be like getting these guests to help him hunt down the monsters. That would be cool. But at night, I could say this is probably going to be the hot spot. It's going to be, because everyone loves Halloween. I don't know one person who I've spoken to that does not like Halloween Horror Nights. So I'm just going to say this is going to be the hot spot at night.
No, I definitely agree. And like I was saying all the way at the beginning, I think Disney fans have been asking for a villains park for years, and we haven't seen it yet. And so I think it's really cool that Universal is actually coming to answer that call and putting together this portal land. Another interesting thing I found is the phrase Dark Universe is actually a connected. It was an attempt at creating a connected movie universe, similar to the Marvel Cinematic Universe that Disney had a lot of success with, or still is. But yeah, Universal wanted to tap into that, and so um, in 2017 and even before that, they came out with a couple of movies. One of them was Dracula Untold, and then The Mummy 2017, which was the first two of what was intended to be a new cinematic universe of connected villains, of Frankenstein, of Dracula, of The Mummy. Van Helsing is actually another one. Unfortunately, the series did not take off after The Mummy of 2017 that had Tom Cruise in it. Universal decided to step back from the idea, but again, that's where they got the idea of naming this land the Dark Universe. Had that cinematic universe took off, it would have created a lot of synergy between the movies and the parks. And I'm sure when they were starting to design Epic Universe back in, I don't know, probably the 2010s or something like that, that played into naming this land what they did, and now it's still called that.
I still think, I think they're going to wait till Epic Universe opens up, but I do believe that, and I think you said they had still 4 acres of expansion.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking that they might end up
They might reboot the concept.
They might reboot the concept. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I could see that. And I think the only reason why it tanked The Mummy in 2017 is because at that time, Tom Cruise was getting a lot of bad feedback in Hollywood. So I think that's one of the main concept was he ruins movies. He's only good at Mission Impossible. That was what was coming out of that. Because everyone loves Brendan Fraser. We all love him. So I think that's why everyone was like, you can't just get rid of him. And I think Brendan Fraser has even said that he would be willing to come back if they asked him.
Wow,
So
cool.
So our discussion point number 2, the original concept art also showed that Dark Universe would include a large outdoor amphitheater. So it's not there now?
No. This that was supposed to be on the land that the Curse of the Werewolf roller coaster kind of was a last minute swap or a last minute addition last year. So yeah, I was kind of wondering, there's already 3 other coasters here at Epic Universe. There's Donkey Kong Minecart Madness over in Super Nintendo World. There's Starfall Racers, which is going to be over in Celestial Park in the main hub area.
Did you see the pictures and I think that they have a video out of it being tested. Did you see that? I think it just came out today or yesterday.
Oh, are you talking Donkey Kong?
No. Oh, I saw that one. That was the computer generated for the Donkey Kong. No, the Starfall Racers. I think they just
I saw photos of the cars, but I did not see them in motion yet.
Yeah, I saw the pictures. I believe someone has a video of it being moved, but they're on the track already, and
yeah, I know they're on the track. Yeah.
They look great.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited.
Me too. But yeah, there's a third roller coaster over in How to Train Your Dragon Land, which is the Dragon Gliders coaster. So there's already 3 coasters, and then they added this 4th one, the Curse of the Werewolf, over here in Dark Universe. So do you think Epic Universe could have done better with a large outdoor amphitheater, or did they need a 4th roller coaster? What do you
Honestly, the reason why, and this is why I think they're going with the 4th roller coaster, and the 4th roller coaster is because they're going to try to compete against the new roller coaster capital theme park of the world, SeaWorld.
Which SeaWorld's trying to get there. Yeah. That makes sense.
So they got to compete with that.
Mm-hmm.
So what way to draw the people away from SeaWorld's roller coasters than adding more to Epic Universe itself?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
unfortunately, the expansion plot that they have for this land it's 4 acres, which isn't small, but it's kind of a long, narrow slot. So I don't know if they're going to be able to put the amphitheater that they originally thought of over in that area. It's kind of behind behind the large dark ride and behind the burning windmill. But again, it's kind of a long, narrow space.
Well, that's the same thing what happened with Disney. They wanted to build that theater in Magic Kingdom, which was right next
I
to.
remember that, yeah, behind the
What was it, behind where?
Main Street.
Yeah, behind Main Street, and that failed because I think the show theme parks are trying to get away from amphitheaters now because everything's all about thrill rides now.
Mm-hmm.
So no one's really, and I even noticed it when I was at Disney for the Broadway show. It's not as packed anymore. People are not sitting to watch when they could just walk by and listen to it. So everyone's there for thrill rides. So I kind of see where they're going with this.
It was a business decision, I'm sure. Yeah, and I can understand that. But yeah, interesting.
I'm
theater for another coaster.
I'm excited. I'm hoping Dark Universe will be just as popular. I'm still thinking, besides Nintendo World, I'm thinking that How to Train Your Dragon Land is going to be the second popular. But we'll get to that another day. Mm-hmm. And let's stay away from Epic Universe now. And let's go into, Greg, you got some information from Bob Iger.
Yeah. This past week, we learned a little bit more about what Disney is planning to do in the near future to combat Epic Universe. This past Tuesday, he attended a question and answer session on a Morgan Stanley Technology, Media, and Telecom conference, where he did offer some insight into what the company's intent is. And in quote, he said, "We're planning to turbocharge growth in Disney's experiences businesses."
Now, he did say that they could build 7 more lands. Now, everyone's like, oh, he's going to do it. But actually, he never truly said
You're right.
He would do it. He could.
Yep.
But he's not going to.
If you read his quote, he did reference the possibility of building up to 7 new full lands around the world, which was unfortunately followed with "if we wanted to," like you said. Yeah. I wish he hadn't added that "if we wanted to" piece, because it kind of, obviously throws a little bit of doubt in their commitment.
But I wanted to make sure that our listeners know that it could happen. It didn't say he's going to.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure a lot of you have probably seen that over social media where Iger said that he talked about building 7 new lands. He said if we wanted to. But he went on to also discuss the $60 billion proposed investment that they've been preaching for the last few months worldwide over the next 10 years. He also talked about the Disneyland Forward plans that we discussed on our last podcast, where he said they have the ability to increase the size of the Disneyland Resort by 50%. I don't know if he mentioned the words Disneyland Forward, but that's definitely what he's talking about there. And he also confirmed plans again about an Avatar experience coming to Disneyland in California. This was a rumor that was several months old, where I think he dropped it someplace, and then someone within the company came back and said, nope, that's not true. Maybe it was he confirmed it was for Disney's California Adventure, and then a day later, someone within the company kind of debunked that comment. But he said it again, that Avatar is coming to the Disneyland Resort.
Well, for years.
He also acknowledged it'll be a land. So it's not just going to be an attraction. It'll be a land. So maybe he misspoke that it was going to be a Disney California Adventure. Maybe they're actually going to tag it on to Disneyland like they did Star Wars Land. We don't know. But he did confirm that they are getting Avatar.
Well, I know for years people have been saying that they need to expand over at Animal Kingdom for Avatar. And people will fight you over and be like, it's going to happen. But now it seems like they're going to go take it to the West Coast, which kind of makes sense. You know, they need something. I'm not an Avatar fan. I'm going to be honest with you. But they kind of need something.
Yeah. No, I was about to say that, unpopular opinion. I never understood why they're investing so much in Avatar. I mean, the special effects are awesome, but the storyline's never been that strong. So the fact that they created a whole land for it, sure, it's a great visual experience for a theme park, And for that reason, I think it worked out very well over there at Animal Kingdom. But does it draw the crowds that they hoped it would? Especially, why are they having 3 more movies of Avatar? Yeah, it's just interesting where Disney places their effort sometimes. You wonder if it matches, consumer response.
Right. So I see that we did get some wonderful news about Fantasy Springs.
Yeah, we definitely did. Yeah, moving, unfortunately, back over to international news. We obviously here at Rudolph Theme Park try to bring domestic news whenever possible, but in the lack of that sometimes for Disney, the international parks have really been kicking it when it comes to expansions over the last couple of years. And the next one coming up into the limelight is going to be Tokyo Disney Seas. They are I think we talked about it over the last few weeks, this summer, June 2024, they're set to open their Fantasy Springs area. It's an expansion for their Tokyo Disney Sea Resort. I think it's interesting how they called it Fantasy Springs in contrast to Fantasy Land, like they have over at Tokyo Disneyland. Play on words there, I thought was.
I kind of thought that.
You thought that too?
Yeah, I did, because it's Fantasyland and then Disney Springs.
Yep. And then the mini lands that are inside of here are obviously Fantasyland type intellectual properties. We got Frozen Kingdom, we got Peter Pan's Neverland, and we got Rapunzel's Forest. So they were obviously looking for a good reason or a good, avenue to inject those IPs, those fantasy type IPs into Tokyo Disney Sea. So,
if I'm correct, did I see Rapunzel had a ride?
Yes, she does. Yeah, she's got a boat riding.
Oh, see, I'm very happy about that. It finally it took Tokyo to get her a ride and not a bathroom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yep, she's getting a ride and a dining hall actually. So we'll get into that in a second. But this is about 24 acres, so relatively large expansion area. Again, set to open in June of 2024, connected to Disney Sea. There's actually a new hotel that's being built with this expansion area, and there's 475 rooms, 2 buildings. Interesting part about this, the first part of it is going to be called Fantasy Chateau, and they actually have released some pricing quotes on this. The rooms start at $430 a night, not cheap. But
wow.
Listen to this: the second area of this hotel, called the Grand Chateau, those rooms start at $2,300 a night, US dollars. That's not
my goodness.
That's US dollars. So, wow. The only thing I can say is I'm excited to see what they're going to do to provide enough value for $2,300 a night. Is this going to be, I don't know, is this going to be some kind of Star Wars land? Is this going to be an immersive experience? I don't know. What can they do to justify $2,300 a night at this hotel? So
I don't even think that it was $2,300 a night for the Star Wars thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe it was. I think it was like $4,000 just for the whole 3-day adventure.
It was $4,000 or $4,500 for 2 nights. Yeah. So this is about the same price.
Okay, so it's about
$2,300.
But at least you get to leave.
Yeah. You get to leave and go into the land. So yeah, I'm just speculating there, wondering if that's going to be some kind of an interactive experience. Are they going to send them out into Fantasy Springs to interact with characters as part of what they're doing connected to the hotel? I don't know. 100% speculation. I'm just trying to find out how can they charge $2,300 per night on a room. I think it'd be fascinating if they did something like that. Maybe they learned something from Star Wars, Galactic Star Cruiser, and they're going to try to apply it here and do something a little bit better that might be more successful.
Well, I know closer to opening date we'll get some. Yeah. They'll probably come out with some reasonings what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So definitely stay tuned, and as soon as we hear more about that, we'll let you know. But that stat is correct. I triple checked it, and so yeah, we'll see what happens there.
Ooh, I like it. I'm reading on the 3 dining options. I'm a buffet guy, so that looks.
Yeah. So the hotel has 3 announced dining options. The first one is called Fantasy Springs Restaurant, which is a buffet. I would imagine it's probably going to be a character breakfast, for being connected to a Fantasy Springs, land. The next one is Lulule. I can't pronounce that. Libellule. Probably Beauty and the Beast of some kind because it sounds obviously French. But that's a fine dining restaurant. And the lobby bar's name is Grand Paradis. So
Okay.
A lot of interesting news released about Fantasy Springs. And now we can go into some more detail on what each of those lands are going to be about. First, the Frozen Kingdom. The area is described as you'll experience Arendelle following the events of the first two films, after the kingdom has been restored to its former glory. Frozen Kingdom will capture towering snow-capped mountains, cascading waterfalls, and Ice's ice palace glistening in the distance on the North Mountains. So, yeah, definitely kind of gives you Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, immersive type vibes. When you walk in, we're going to be able to see all the mountains, the ice palace off in the distance. Yeah, it's sounds like it's going to be pretty incredible. The main attraction here is going to be a 6.5-minute boat ride. The Two Sisters Epic and Touching Saga. The boat ride, or the boats themselves, they showed some concept art of, or a model of what these boats looked like. They looked extremely similar to what you see in Hong Kong and in Epcot for the Frozen Ever After rides. But they did clarify in this land, it is going to be an original retelling of the story. So it's not going to be a clone of Epcot's Frozen Ever After or Hong Kong's Frozen Ever After. They're doing something new here.
Oh, good.
Definitely looking forward to that, yeah. Moving on to dining here in the Frozen area, they got the Royal Banquet of Arendelle, so that's going to be a counter service. You can probably imagine the type of food that they would have there. And then the snack shop is going to be called Oaken's OK Foods. So,
I like that.
All right. Yeah, me too. So definitely looking forward to this immersive experience here. The next mini land in this area is called Peter Pan's Neverland. The area described as when you walk in, you're going to become a member of the Lost Boys and explore a pirate ship, dine in a secret hideaway, and confront pirates. There's also a Pixie Hollow area where you can meet Tinkerbell, and the land will also feature 2 attractions and a counter service restaurant. Now, first, the attraction is going to be called Peter Pan's Neverland Adventure. This is a 6-minute 3D dark ride adventure in a rustic pirate ship. I'm thinking this is probably going to be something similar to like a Transformers at Universal or Spider-Man. The rides are just the ship just looked like that. How it had
for me, I'm done with 3D. I can't do. I feel like 3D is outdated.
Mm-hmm.
I think they need to get away from the whole 3D.
Yeah, and start to do more creative effects. Yeah, but yeah, so that's all we know about the Peter Pan attraction. Is it's just going to be you're in a rustic pirate ship. So maybe it's a trackless vehicle. Not sure, but yeah, it's a. And then the next attraction in that area is Fairy Tinkerbell's Buzzy Buggies. Described as an experience to help Tinkerbell as she starts her new delivery service in Pixie Hollow while visiting 4 seasonal locations to deliver various packages and parcels to the fairies. The whimsical 2-minute ride is designed for children and designed for families with smaller children. I'm picturing this from the concept art. It looks like Tow Mater's Junkyard Jamboree or Spinning Swirling Saucers. That's what this kind of looks like to me.
Okay, I mean that's not bad.
Mm-hmm. Yep, something for them. So,
I haven't been on that ride yet. That's the one ride I keep on skipping when I go to Disneyland.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to get on that ride this year. I'm going to make it imperative to get on that ride.
Mm-hmm. It's fun. Yeah, definitely. All right, and then the dining option here in the Peter Pan area is called Lookout Cookout. You'll be able to dine like the Lost Boys at Lookout Cookout, also their hideout. Made from found objects and shipwreck parts, you can enjoy delicious food and beautiful views of Neverland. So, yeah, again, the immersion is something that I'm looking forward to here, and I'm sure the food is going to be themed extremely well. So, And then moving on to the third mini land in this area, Rapunzel's Forest, area described as set in the world of Tangled with the unmistakable tower in the valley. The entire forest is illuminated in the evening by Rapunzel's tower, and not a bathroom. Lamps line the pathways, a glowing restaurant, boathouse, windows, and lanterns. The area will feature one attraction and restaurant. The attraction, Rapunzel's Lantern Festival, is a 5-minute romantic boat trip to the annual Lantern Festival and other locations from the 2010 featured film. On the 5-minute water ride, guests can experience Rapunzel's best day ever as she falls in love with Flynn Rider. The model boats for this look also very similar to the Frozen boat rides. So, not sure if this is if this is that same ride system too, Frozen Ever After.
Well, they probably had extra boats. That's the other thing. So Disney's probably like, yeah, we have a whole bunch. It's cut cost. Let's just use what we have.
But maybe, and again, I'm just speculating here, maybe they're going to step outside the box and they're going to recreate Pirates from Shanghai. Battle for Sunken Treasure. Yeah. So again, that's just speculation. That's just a wish that I have that I hope they recreate that ride system and that level of immersion that they did on that Pirates ride and do that again.
That would be nice.
Yeah, exactly, and not redo this Frozen Ever After ride system. We've seen it. All right, and the dining in this Rapunzel area is called the Snuggly Duckling. This is another counter service restaurant inspired by the tavern where the local rough and tumble crowd gathers in this feature film. The eatery will feature various atmospheric dining areas to immerse guests into the world of Tangled further. So, no, definitely looking forward to this. And one interesting thing to know about Tokyo Disney Resort is it's actually the one Disney resort that the Disney company does not own. The Oriental Land Company is actually the owners of the land, the theme park, and actually operates the Tokyo Disneyland Resort. Years ago, when they talked about bringing Disneyland or a Disney theme park to Japan, they have different laws out there where internationals are not able to own land, and it's similar to what we can do in other countries. So the Oriental Land Company came up and said, hey, we'd like to contract with Disney and utilize your Imagineering talents and sponsor building a Tokyo Disneyland Resort here in Tokyo. And so that's how the Tokyo Disneyland Resort came to be, which is still owned by the Oriental Land Company. And the interesting thing about this is traditionally they seem to be a little more loose when it comes to their wallet. And obviously that shows in the level of dedication they have to doing things right.
It's cheaper. It's cheaper from what I've been told.
What do you mean it's cheaper?
I heard the ticket prices at Tokyo Disneyland.
That's right. Yeah. No, you're right about that. Sorry. I was trying to find where you're going with that. But yeah, that's an interesting point is ticket prices are much cheaper over there. So I don't know how they maintain the same level of excellence and same level of, creation that they do out there and charge less. But yeah, I've just always thought that was interesting why Tokyo puts so much more money into their parks, and it's because it's not owned by Disney. It's owned by the Oriental Land Company. Yeah. And they just contract to the Disney Imagineers, say, hey, I'd like you to build this attraction. And the Disney engineers are kind of given, potentially almost a blank check to come up with their best work. And that's how these things come to be over there in Tokyo. So very different than any other park around the world for Disney.
So which out of these three lands are you most excited about then?
I think Peter Pan. I don't know. I'm not upset with the 3D dark rides personally. Spider-Man and Transformers are two of my favorite attractions anywhere. Disney, Universal, anywhere. So yeah, I'm looking forward to what Disney does with a similar type of dark ride situation.
Me, look, I'm Frozen out. And what makes it even worse is my daughter is now obsessed with Frozen, so I'm not getting anywhere away from it. So it's all about Elsa. I'm like, oh God.
Hmm.
All those times
Yeah.
of just hearing those kids and being like, it's just a phase. It won't happen to my kid. No,
Hmm.
no, it does.
It
So I'm
happens.
frozen
Okay.
doubt.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah, it would be
But
interesting to see what they do to this new attraction that they're building. But for the most part, no, I'm looking to at the other two.
I would say I am excited for Peter Pan's Neverland. But I finally got my Rapunzel land. The something I have been wanting to have, where they just tear down the bathrooms over at Magic Kingdom and be like, "Hey, we're building something." Because seriously,
Yeah.
I'm still going back to, I believe it was back in early January when I went to the parks and Rapunzel was there meeting in front of her bathrooms. And I said to
Hmm.
myself, she's dancing with children. Granted, that's what she does.
Hmm.
But to do it in front of a bathroom, I mean, that's
Hmm.
kind of embarrassing on Disney's part. And I don't know who in their right mind said, hey, let's take Rapunzel out of the castle today and let's just have her stationed at the bathroom.
Hmm.
Somebody is not thinking straight on that day because it hasn't happened since. So something must have happened that day. I don't know if they were testing something out, but it was just, and that video on my TikTok has blown up because people are all like in shock that they did that. I
Hmm.
mean, I don't know who, not to be like anything, but someone needs to be fired and creative on that because that's, uh, it's gross to me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. One of the challenging things about that Rapunzel bathroom area is it's so landlocked. If you look at a map there, to the left
Yeah.
of it is
The
Haunted
show
Mansion.
behind it is the
To
show.
the north of it is Small World. So yeah, there is expansion plots behind Haunted Mansion, but you gotta kind of walk past Haunted Mansion to get to it, and that's why they propose maybe that could become a Villains Land area. It would make sense maybe to walk past Haunted Mansion and go further to get up into the Villains Land. Um, but yeah.
Heading back, we've done our Disney duty. um, Heading back on because we had some news that came out of Universal as well. I know we like to jump back and forth, and I think it works in the feng shui of things, always giving each park their own time and all that. DreamWorks Land attraction and opening date announcement, summer of 2024. Here's my dilemma. I am excited for this because I am a huge DreamWorks fan. I'm excited to ride that Trolls coaster, to go to Poe's basically training camp. But here's the funny thing I just thought about. Summer of 2024. That is any time from May to, I believe, as late as September. Disney is opening up summer of 2024 Tiana's Bayou.
Yeah, they're already doing ride testing there, so yeah, that's
They
definitely
both
moving along
might
quick.
end up opening the same week. It could happen. They don't have a
Hmm.
date specifically. They're just saying it's summer 2024. But they could open up the same time. And in my mind, I think they're going to. And I think
Hmm.
it's going to be a competition to see who's going to get it. Who's
I
going to
can see
get the
that.
most people.
Hmm. Hmm.
That would be cool. Because
Yeah.
we got DreamWorks Land, which is going to have Shrek's swap meet. You're going to be able to go into Shrek's house, his cottage, and be able to meet him there. There also could be, it's described that it's going to have a splash pad for cool down areas for kids. The aerial images, and especially on my YouTube channel, you could see the top of his swamp, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Hmm.
Now, what I was talking about was the Trolls coaster. It used to be Woody Woodpecker's coaster. Now it is repainted, rethemed to Trolls. It's going to be rainbow. It's going to be about Poppy. It's going to be all your favorite characters. It's going to be like the Flight of the Hippogriff, but smaller. I think they changed. I think they did add a little bit of track to change it a little bit. I don't know. I heard that from what I saw, they did take some track apart because I did see the cranes come in and take some apart.
Hmm.
So maybe they added something. It looks like it from the concept art and from the aerial views that I saw. It looks like they did. So to have that Trolls coaster, it's going to give the kids something kind of like, we did say Fly the Hippogriff, but it's going to be like Goofy's Barnstormer.
Yeah.
So
I think it's a cool name, the Trolls Troller Coaster. No, I think they did a good job on finding that one.
yeah, because I think the original name was going to be Trolls Rainbow Coaster, but I know that they did switch it to Troller Coaster, which I think it's, as you said, sounds a lot better. The Poe Live, which by the way, just letting you know, this weekend, Kung Fu Panda 4 has just released in theaters, and I heard it is kicking butt in theaters. So I haven't seen it yet. I'm actually waiting to go with my daughter to go see it. So
I've always been a big fan of that movie series. So
I love Jack Black. I love him, and his new song, well, it's not new, but his rendition of "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time" is blowing up all over the internet. I'm excited for it. I love Poe. I like that it's a training camp. I heard there's going to be a lot of water from the pictures of it, so that's going to be fun. I'm just, like I said, with the Jack Black song that came out, everything, they are coming out at the right time for this DreamWorks land. It's going to have the dining, swamp snacks, troll treats. The High Five Hideaway will now be the merch location. So I'm very excited for 2024. It's going to be great for both Disney and it's going to be great for Universal. It's going to depend upon whose land and ride is going to win the summer. I'm going to tell you right now. My mind is going that it's going to be. I love Universal being that I work there, but I think Disney's going to win the summer with Tiana's Bayou. I agree. In my mind, I think that's going to win.
Going back to this Pooh Kung Fu training camp, I think it'll be very interesting. One thing I read is it's going to be a meet and talk with Pooh, but it'll be on a digital animated screen, they said. It's not actually going to be supposedly a live Pooh or Kung Fu Panda. Think the Turtle Talk with Crush experience that they have at the Living Seas at Epcot.
Now I would like that. I would like to meet Poe and talk to Poe.
Yeah. No, I would too. It'll just be interesting to see how well, the kids want to see an actual Pooh, or Poe that they can go up and hug compared to, a digital animated screen that they can talk with. So we'll see what the feedback is on that one. But I just thought that was a different direction or an interesting different direction that they're going with the meet and greet for this one.
Yeah. And sticking with Universal, Universal's concert series ends next week, like I said. Tonight, being that it is March 10th, Queen Latifah is performing, and it is packed there right now at Universal. I will let you know when I work there. It is packed. People are excited. And then we got Louis Fonsi on the 16th and Zed on the 17th. Now, we still have until the 7th of April, I believe it was, that Mardi Gras is still going to be around, but the concerts will be ending next Sunday. Greg, 2024 Epcot International Flower of Garden is coming. What do we got?
Right. My favorite festival. All right. So, February 28th to May 27th. It's one of the longer festivals Epcot has. Some of the newer topiaries this year. Encanto got moved a little further back, and Wish took their place up at the front park entrance. Now, you've seen Wish before. I have not. Do you think this was a good swap?
Yes. Okay. I 100. I also believe that the topiary that won is Groot.
Mm-hmm.
Because he plays music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Groot is the next new one over by Guardians of the Galaxy. I definitely thought this would be the most popular, and I'm sure it will be.
And then I saw that they debuted, what was it, last week? They debuted Dante It was Dante's topiary is a light up one.
With projection mapping, that's correct. Yeah, they are doing the world's first projection mapping on a topiary outside the Mexican Pavilion. Yeah, so
For most of you that don't know, Dante is from Coco. So
he's the dog.
he's the dog. But I was excited for that when I saw that. I haven't seen it yet. I'm hoping when I get out of my blackout dates, I will be going.
So yeah, those are the 3 new topiaries that have come already for 2024. Excited to go see those soon. This year, as far as merch, seems to be the year of Orange Bird. I know we say that all the time, but it seems like this year more than everything seems to be Orange Bird, which I'm actually okay with. I've always loved Orange Bird. It's an original Disney character that I don't think gets as much love as others that it should. So kind of like a Figment, that needs to get more love. So an original attractions or theme park character.
And you'll be able to get all the snacks and all that on the Disney Food Blog, and you'll be able to also get, if you go on Epcot through Disney, you can go and get the list of all the performers that are going to be performing, the bands and all that as well.
Yep. The upcoming 3 bands coming, Rick Springfield coming tonight and tomorrow night. And then 2 other highlights in March is going to be Foreigner's Journey. And the other highlight, part of the Garden Rocks lineup, is the Pointer Sisters coming in March. Feel free to, everyone will want to keep in mind, don't forget about the Garden Rocks dining packages Disney does offer. Depending on the restaurant, you can sign up and purchase a fixed price per person dining packages for the Garden Rocks concert series. It depends on the restaurant, between $50 and $99 for adults. Like $99 is for the Le Cellier Steakhouse for adults. In addition to your dinner, which you're given a appetizer, entree, and dessert, you're also guaranteed priority seating for one of the shows for one of your favorite performers. So, reach out to me if you have any questions about that, or if you need help getting dining reservations for that, because that is a specialty dining opportunity that you need to have a reservation for. So, and that's definitely something I can help you out with. Just something to keep in mind when you're, if you've got a concert that you have to go see and you want to have good seats, the Garden Rocks dining packages is a great offer for that.
And that goes right into our final segment, basically, which is the dining travel tips and promos. Like we said in the beginning of the show, we did get the 1900 Park Fair, which opens on the 10th of April. The reservations did open on March 5th, and it already looks like they sold out, because I've been trying to look for, basically trying to get us on the 10th, but we did get the 11th. Doesn't matter. We still got the 11th.
Yep, I was up at 6 a.m. on March 5th, and just within moments, the 10th was gone, and I was able to grab the 11th. But I do have an auto alert set up for us, so that if anything does become available on the 10th, not only do I get an alert for it, but it'll also secure that reservation for us. So again, that's something I can do for any one of my clients. If you guys have any reservations that you can't find reservations for, that's another way I can help support them.
Yeah, and then we got the menu that came out, which is, let's see, for breakfast, it's carved ham, classic eggs Benedict, and holiday sauce. I probably said that wrong.
Nope, you got it right.
Croissant breakfast pizza. Interesting. Break pudding with vanilla cream Angelus.
That was bread pudding with vanilla anglaise.
Oh, jeez. I'm sorry. Strawberry soup returns. Your entree for, I'm assuming this is the dinner. It's Tiana's gumbo with spicy, I can't even say that. Is it andalou?
Spicy andouille sausage.
Andouille sausage. Okay. Carved prime rib. I'll probably get that if I was able to do dinner. Or the baked salmon. That's another one. Curry roasted chicken.
So they had some adventurous options on there I liked, yeah.
Yeah, for the kids, because we know kids are picky. Chicken, pizza, and mac and cheese.
So seems got your standards.
Got your standard. Your desserts are toasted coconut cake with a passion fruit custard and
Hibiscus.
hibiscus cream. Thank you. I'm sorry, I'm just not good with words today. Lemon blueberry cheesecake. Strawberry soup returns again. Is that also dessert?
Yep. The last one is the Grand Floridian Financier, which is a almond cake with sea salt caramel and toasted meringue. So these are just some of the highlights from the menu. They're both buffets, breakfast and dinner, and they were a pretty long list. So I just picked out some of the highlights.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of great food options there. Are
Well,
you looking more forward to breakfast or dinner?
uh, honestly, I'm looking forward to dinner. They got some good stuff, but I like breakfast. I do like breakfast, don't get me wrong. But the dinner has some good stuff I would eat.
Nah, I agree. And I think I told you I actually do have a breakfast and a dinner reservation. So hopefully if we have time, we'll do them both.
Sweet, let's do it.
Yeah. hmm
And do we have any new promos?
Yes, we do. Not this past week, but the week before, we did get a really important announcement from Disney. All 2025 vacation packages are now available, and along with that came a brand new promo. I don't know if anybody was prepared for. For all stays in 2025, if you book now, I doubt this is going to last forever. They didn't put an expiration date on it, but again, I really don't see this lasting forever. But right now, any vacations booked where the check-in date is after January 1st, 2025, on your check-in day, your family is going to get a free water park day. So in the spring and the summer, that's going to be Typhoon Lagoon. In the fall, winter, that's going to be Blizzard Beach. So definitely another value add to your vacation that I think a lot of people are going to be excited about.
I would be excited. I mean, you're going to give me a free water park? Honestly, that right there, I'm booking.
Yeah, I was really excited to see that news. I love Typhoon Lagoon. That's one of my favorite, afternoons. It's so much easier to get in and out of than a theme park. They actually don't charge for parking at the water parks. You just drive in, park, walk right in. It's a much more convenient experience than sometimes your theme park can be. So yeah, it can be a relaxing, opportunity to, on your check-in day, if you get there 10, 11 o'clock before your room's ready, head on over to a water park and spend the afternoon. And then by the time, 5, 6 dinner time runs around, go get checked into your room. So yeah, definitely a great opportunity that they're offering. So reach out to me if you're interested in any of your 2025 vacations. Keep in mind the $200 deposit that we talked about before. It's 100% refundable up until 30 days before your trip. So I know 2025 seems like such a long way away and you're concerned that, my plans might change, anything like that. That's fine. We're extremely flexible. Disney's extremely flexible. But one thing you do want to do is put that $200 deposit down and secure your dates for that hotel or secure your dates for that price that you're looking for because it can fluctuate. And another thing people are concerned about is, 2025, even though there is that promo for the free water parks, we don't have any promos yet for the end of this year or next year for maybe save 20% off or save 30% off, things like that. Don't worry about that either. One of the other great things about working through a travel agent such as myself is we keep track of all the latest promos that are released almost on a weekly basis. And, if there are any promos that apply to a future client of mine, I'm constantly checking those released promos to see if there's any clients I can apply their previously booked trip towards and then just call them up and let them know how much they saved. I love those calls. I get to call them up and say, hey, you just saved a couple $100. No wonder why. It's because a new Disney promo was just released that was appropriate for their existing booking. And I was able to apply it and reduce the cost of their overall trip. So again, don't let not having any fall or 2025 promos discourage you from booking at this time, because they can definitely still be applied later, and that's something that I will take care of for you. You don't need to spend your days, watching Disney's special offer website for new things that come up that apply to your trip. That's a service that comes included with working with a travel agent such as myself. So, yep. And then one other promo for this spring and summer for most days, March 25th through July 7th. They are offering 30% off stays of 5 nights or longer. So if that falls into your vacation dates, please feel free to reach out and get your $200 deposit down. And again, if your plans are this fall, still reach out. Let's get your $200 deposit down. It'll be 100% refundable up until 30 days before your trip, and even after 30 days. Up until the day before your check-in, your entire trip is refundable except for that $200 deposit. So you still have some flexibility even then. So yeah, there's some great things coming for this spring, summer, and things coming in next year in 2025. Bookings are now available, and if you want a free water park on your check-in day, that's the latest best promo that they released a couple of weeks ago.
All right. I think those are some good promos. Like I said, I would definitely book for 2025 just because of that free water park.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, before we wrap up, I want to remind you that the Root of All Theme Parks is proudly sponsored to you by the PS Family Vacations, the dreamers of your next magical getaway. If you like to support our content and either not sure where to start your own vacation planning or just don't have the time, please consider benefiting from the experience and enthusiasm of any of the incredible PS Family Vacation travel agents. We know you could book a vacation yourself. However, with the support of an experienced agent, we guarantee you'll be more prepared, knowledgeable, and satisfied with your overall trip. Always completely free. Remember that, it's always free. So start your theme park cruise, all-inclusive resort, or European adventure today at psfamilyvacations.com. Well, that will do it for today. We'd like to thank you for listening and ask, what are your thoughts of the content covered today? And if you have any suggestions on future topics you'd like us to discuss, please put it in the discussion comments, either mostly on YouTube. You can give me what would you like to hear? So that way we can get that up for you. Next week, we will be talking about the Flower and Garden Festival again to see if we have any new things. I know Greg said he's going to try to get out there this week. I am currently blacked out and I'm working, so I'm not going to be able to get there this week. So Greg will be my wonderful eyes out there. And then we're going to get you some food reviews on the festival. And we will now go into part 3 of Epic Universe. And we are going to do How to Train Your Dragon. I think that's going to be fun because that's another one that I'm excited for. Like I said, after watching the movies in a couple of weeks ago.
Hey, Matt, sorry. We weren't going to tell them what the next land is. We want them to tune in next week. Right?
Oh,
just tell them next week we'll continue to discuss the portal lands, and be sure to tune in to find out what the next land is we discuss in that contest.
Okay. Then let's do 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to go back to Epic Universe. We are going to keep it a secret. We want you to come back and listen for more so that way you guys can win that $50 Universal gift card. Remember, the first person to get all 5 lands that we spoke about correctly will get the $50 Universal gift card.
And the order we discussed them in.
Yes, the order we discussed. It has to be in the correct order.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just say, well, you talked about them. No, it has to be, what order did we talk about from It's from the second episode to now. And so on for the next 3 weeks. So I hope you all had a great week. Please subscribe and tune in next week to the Root of All Theme Parks.